Hello, and welcome back to the Enlightened Hour. I decided to take a video today because I actually didn't feel very well. And I wanted to talk about that the thing we have about awakening, enlightenment is gonna fix all your problems. Of course, it's not at all. It's actually gonna open up the lid. So you can have days upon days where you're feeling there is no end to the black hole you're in. I've been meditating for about 6 to 8 hours every day for over a month now. And that is not something that I have been choosing. It was nothing else to do, really. So you can imagine what was coming up. There was nothing else I could do than to just sit there and meditate, because whatever I did, it was horrible. And you're waking up to very, very deep patterns that were created when you were very, very small, a kid, infant even. Even in my mom's belly, I'm starting to see, experience that's been absorbed. And it's really scary because you're heading into territory you haven't been in so long. And it was very painful at that time. But what I am always discovering again and again and again is that my patterns, things that I have absorbed, was given to me from someone else. And I can see their life. I can see how they are living their life today. Their reactive behavior, the way they have their job, for example, the profession that they have, the way they give themselves out on social media, the way they talk, the way they move. So, interesting question is, where did it all come from in the first place? Today, on my way here to the office, I was struck by a very, very depressive feeling. It was so completely empty and depressing. And the thing is that there was a kind of like a superimposed wave that was glued towards a feeling of not being anything. And then there was a reactive component towards that, which was fluffing up the chest, chin up high, trying to look something for someone, like a facade. You're being someone, kind of inflating yourself a little bit, kind of like this external mask you put on. And then I saw those two play out. I saw that very scattered, very sad, it's like you're inside a coffin and the coffin is full of pikes, metal pikes, and they're ice cold and they're poking you from every single side. It felt like that, and a core pain. Deeper than the skeleton. It's like it was almost, you can say it was in my cells or DNA. And then there was this reactive component of kind of like an angry face towards it, but it was projected outwardly to the world. And for my case, I've always been trying to project a happy face for everyone. The adventurer, the deep philosopher, the one who is always on the move, always trying to get something, always doing all this awesome stuff. They were awesome, I'm not gonna say that. So in that case, I'm very pleased about the dual component towards that phase. But at the end of the day, you're always trying to run from something, and you're unconscious to that until you are starting to actually dig. You're starting to use your awareness as a drill, to just get in there and see what the fuck, what is that, what's that pain, and it will be labeled as depression or anxiety or stress, because that's the first thing that comes to the mind. But no, it's many stores deep. But what I'm seeing is that all of those phases that I've been projecting, all those phases that I am, always ends up in the core essence of not being anyone, of being a complete failure, of not having anything, which is where you really gotta have a sense of humor, because that is your true nature. And it struck me today, because I was still resisting those things. I was scared to go down there, because anything can happen, figuratively speaking. You're just allergic to that place, that aspect of your person. So your person is, you're not one specific person, you're a conglomerate of many persons. You just have a core sense of a self. But all those phases, they have their own branch going inward. So there's a core sense here, and then this here splits up into many branches going up all directions, which is put out in different kind of circumstances or emotional situations or thoughts. And then when you're tracking all of those, when you're being all of those, because if you are inviting it, if you're ready for it, if you want to, it will come. It's just waiting for you to open that base for it to come. Being like a nurturous a hand where you can incubate. But at the end of the line of all of these always waits really deep frustration and anger, almost hate, but it's always mixed with sorrow. And then you go into the sorrow, and then you have resistance towards that. You don't want to go there. And then you're sitting with the resistance. And then when you finally sit with the both of them at the same time, you will start to merge it. And you will see that it was a wobbling, transient form of an entity or a sense of an ego that was there. And when you see that, it's been seen by the light, it will evaporate, and then you will be left with nothing. Kind of like this confused place but you're not the confusion. The confusion is another way to approach another phase. You're just becoming less and less. And I'm currently waking up to that thing of always wanting to be someone. So immediately when I had my awakening, there was like this ownership of it. I completely annihilated. I died, but my ego resurrected. And it wobbled about very rapidly and fast. And then I had a feeling that I've completed something. The impossible. So I had like these ideas that someone sent me a meme the other day. It was really funny. It was the classical approach to becoming a guru. For example, you're having a YouTube channel, you're posting quotes, doing online satsangs, you know, they're just this typical wannabe guru recipe. And when I saw it, it was so funny because you're like, yep, that's currently what I'm doing. So I want to wake up to everything. I want to wake up to everything that holds me. And that will including facing the most inflated places that makes up me. And here I am. Little me wants to be something. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Because I don't want to see that side of myself. Because then I have to admit that I'm just another wannabe. I am just another wannabe. I'm tired of trying to be someone. But I'm still gonna continue my work. But I'm not sure how I'm gonna create myself yet for you. Because still there's a phase of me who's really sick and tired of all spiritual content and spiritual environment and seeing all people trying to be spiritual. I'm tired of being spiritual. I'm tired of that phase. How can I become as a normal human being as possible? How can I become the human being? That's where I want to go. Now, concerning my job, what I'm literally doing is that I'm awakening people to full enlightenment through a transmission that lasts 15 minutes. And to be honest, I have no fucking idea of how it works. And I've been so frustrated when I've been doing it too. When I'm having someone sitting there and I'm giving a transmission, I've been so frustrated sometimes, but I'm like, how the fuck, why? Why is this working? I don't understand anything. What I'm seeing is that they're taking into a fucking full awakening. Where they're realizing emptiness. They're disappearing. But it's done in the most soothing and harmless way. So everything is balanced meanwhile. There's no immediate, everything's gonna die. There is this natural unfolding of coming back towards your true nature. And I'm seeing skepticism every single time. And the skepticism is gonna last for about 3 sessions. Where they're typically actually starting to feel it in their normal experience. They're feeling it in their normal experience. Soothing pillow, like a warm blanket. Very feminine. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why, really. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it. but the transmission is awakening people. And I feel emotionally immature to be going out to create something, because who I am now is not who I want to reproduce into anyone. So if you if you feel like just trying it, please contact me. I don't know how it works, but it just works. It just does. And I created this office because I wanted to have more walk-ins. I wanted to have physical people coming in here. I'm still working online with steady flow and a good amount of visitors that are currently awakening. They're from around the world. Some of them are friends, some of them are just randoms, just popping in. There is one thing that I learned about awakening. One thing that is the key. Is that you're awakening yourself. If you are in a spiritual environment, if you are interested in enlightenment, in all that, reading books and stuff, I need you to ask yourself right now, do you really want to awake? That is the most sincere question you can ask yourself. If it was up to you right now, like that, would you awake? If there is any form of hesitant reactive behavior towards that, you're lying to yourself. And you need to wake up to how you lie to yourself. We're not taking a spiritual cloth on because it's cleaner. Enlightenment happens in the dirt. You are rubbing yourself against all your lies, and you do not want to see it, but your heart is piercing through all of it. You're willing to do anything. You're willing to see every single facet of yourself. You're even willing to put yourself consciously in those situations to expose yourself. The face, the one that is right there now sitting and watching. Do you really want to change? Because when you change, you will change the relationship to everything. You might not have the same friends. You might not be thought about the way you are being thought about. You might quit your job. But if you are like me, there's a core feeling of that the world you're living, everyone that is involved in it, everything you have created, all of it is a lie. If you have that core feeling in your body that this is not true, your life is not true, the physical reality is not true, there is something much, much greater here, then please contact me. One session about every week for about 6 months. Invest 6 months of your life to live in true harmony with yourself, with truth, for 50 more years. I call this the sleeping bag rule, something that I came up with when I was in tent. There are people who are living who are sleeping in a tent, and they have to pee, and they're inside a sleeping bag. They're the persons who are just gonna lie there, wait for hours upon hours before they finally had enough and they have to go and pee. And then there's the sleeping bag rule, which is just get up and do it. Get up and do it, use the 2 minutes on it, and then have an awesome time for 5 to 6 hours. Or the rest of the night. Just do it. The online sessions are about an hour. They cost 95 euros. We're just gonna transform that into the Danish currency. If you have online sessions, if you have walk-in sessions with here, it's gonna be about 30 minutes for 400 crowns. I have no idea if that is even expensive. But it seems reasonable. There is nothing else to do than to awaken. This is coming straight from my heart. As you're awakening, you will see that what you are as you awaken, the world will turn into it. It's being shaped, a perfect mirror towards what you are in the moment. You're gonna see that there's just a mind. It's just your mind. But that's not you. You can't be touched. So whatever hardship you're going through, you know what's true and what's not. But you also know that there's no way around it. You have to see it. You have to see right into it. And there's a thumb rule. If you know where your fear is, that's where you need to go. So thank you all for watching. If you find this video to be helpful for anyone that you know, please share. I am currently doing these transmissions sessions, and I'm currently also doing ancestral clearing out. So where we're looking into the ancestral charges that are running through your line, your family line, to resolve them, which means that your present moment is gonna be a lot better. So we're gonna do that. That is 120 euros for the first one and 95 for the rest. I guess that will be the same when you walk in. They're gonna take a little bit more than an hour. Yeah. You know where to find me? I don't even know how to pronounce this address, it's so weird. But I'll put it under the video. or over or under. We'll see. Yeah. That's it for this time. Obviously, there's not gonna come a video every week. This one here lasted pretty long though. Oh no, just 25.